Most people already know who the strongest champions in League lore are, like Aurelion, Kindred, all those guys. But what you might not know is who the strongest human champions in the lore are. Now, this one's kinda tricky, because it's hard to define what exactly counts as human. There's a lot of stuff that can change a champion, and even if they were born human, they might not really be human anymore. Take Warwick, for example. The wiki calls him a modified human, and technically that's true. But there's a point where the modifications are so extreme that the dude just stops being a person altogether, at least for me. And since it'd be a mess to make a new race category for every champ that used to be human but got turned into something else, the wiki just leaves it as modified human. So for this video, my criteria are based on what the wiki still considers human, even if there's some magic, tech, or whatever involved. But I'm also using a bit of common sense to draw the line between someone who's still kinda human and someone who's straight up a monster now. Also, any champs who were human but transcended into something else, straight up becoming a whole new race, don't count. So champs like Pantheon and Leona, who are aspects, they're out. Same with undead and spectral beings like Viego, they don't count either. And the Iceborn? Yeah, also not on the list. Even though they're technically humans modified by magic, the fact that they're born with that bloodline power makes it more like a race than a magical ability. They're not born human and then changed, they're born Iceborn. Think of it like elves or something. Also, just so it's clear, this list is based on current power levels, not potential, and I'm only considering how well they can actually use their power. So if someone has crazy abilities but can't control them, or doesn't even know how to use them, like Nunu for example, they're not making the list. Alright, now that we've got all that out of the way, let's jump in. Starting off at number 7, the weakest on this list, but still crazy strong, we got Qiyana. She's an elemental mage from Ixtal, and not just a mage, she's the mage. Even among all the powerful magic users in Ixtal, Qiyana stands out as a prodigy. Her story says over and over that she's not just talented, she's a genius. Every elder and important figure in Ixtal recognizes her as the strongest elemental mage in their entire history. And elemental magic itself is super OP. Ixtal's basically home to a ton of insanely strong mages, so if Qiyana's the best of them, that already puts her among the strongest mages in the world. Just to give you an idea, Talia controls stone, Yasuo controls wind, and Qiyana? She controls both, plus other elements. And she probably controls them better than Yasuo and Talia. We don't have a lot of actual feats from her. We just don't know how strong she really is. But she's clearly powerful as hell, so she lands in last place on this list. But honestly, that's debatable. Alright, moving on to number 6, we got Master Yi. Master Yi is a human who uses the Wuju technique, and honestly, that's pretty much all you need to know about why he's on this list. Wuju is insanely powerful. It taps into the spiritual realm and has a connection to the Vastaya Shire, the ancient beings that gave birth to the Vastaya, like Rakan and Zaya. To give you an idea of how broken Wuju is, Master Yi once wiped out an army of thousands of Noxian soldiers so fast, they couldn't even see what was hitting them. They just saw bodies dropping. It was so bad that Noxus decided to nuke his entire village just out of fear that there might be another person there like him, or maybe a disciple that could grow to be just as strong. He's on a completely different power level, and it's not just that Wuju is busted. He's the best Wuju user alive right now, so he 100% deserves this spot. Alright, next up, number 5 is Syndra. Syndra is an Ionian girl with magic so powerful and dangerous that the spirit of Ionia itself decided she needed to be stopped. Her powers include telekinesis, generating those purple energy spheres, and absorbing spiritual essence. That last one's what makes her super busted. It's said that just by standing still, she's already absorbing life energy from the land of Ionia. When she was a kid, she touched a tree once, and it just straight up died instantly. It had all its energy drained. On top of that, Syndra has a crazy deep connection to magic. She's insanely talented, and definitely has the potential to be not just one of the strongest humans in the world, but one of the strongest characters in general, even among gods. The reason she's not there yet is because she has zero control. She doesn't really know how to use her powers properly. Her magic kinda just reacts to her emotions. She's basically built for those anime fight scenes where she's losing, then has a flashback of her trauma, and suddenly explodes with insane power. But since I'm not counting that kind of plot armor here, and given that she still can't fully control her power, she stays here on the list. But if she ever gets full mastery over her magic, she'd be on a whole different level. Now for number 4, we got Karma, or technically Darha, which is her real name. She's a human from Ionia who carries the spirit of Ionia within her. That spirit is called Karma, so for simplicity's sake, I'm just gonna call her Karma too. Basically, there's this spiritual entity that represents all of Ionia. It's like the land itself, given form, and it chooses certain humans throughout generations to guide and empower. Ionia is a massive, super magical continent, so a spirit that represents all of that, giving its power to one person? Yeah, Karma's absolutely cracked and definitely deserves her spot on this list. Now, the real question isn't whether she should be on the list, it's why she ranks above Syndra. That's because we still don't fully understand how Karma's powers work. We've seen her use them offensively in the Ruination cinematic, but the whole vibe of Ionia is peace and balance. So naturally, the spirit of Ionia's powers reflect that. In the Awakening cinematic, Karma doesn't throw out a huge damage spell. Instead, she shields Irelia and buffs Yasuo. So we don't really know how well her powers would work in a direct 1-versus-1 fight to the death. So I think Syndra would win that kind of duel. But winning a 1-versus-1 doesn't mean you're more powerful overall. Karma's powers just serve a different purpose. That tornado Yasuo used to lift an entire enemy army, that was because of Karma's buff. It's just a different way of using power. Not weaker, just different. Anyway, enough about her. Before we get into the top 3, if you're enjoying the video, hit that like button and subscribe. Also, I'm looking for a narrator, so take a look at the video description or fixed comment if you're interested. Alright, now on to number 3, Neela. Neela is a human who got her powers from Ashlesh, the primordial demon of joy. Do I even need to say more? That alone is enough. Primordial demons are some of the strongest beings, not just in Runeterra, but in the entire universe. They're right up there with celestials and stronger than most of the gods in League. So Neela having access to one of their powers, yeah, she's terrifying. We don't know exactly how much of Ashlesh's power she uses, but it's probably not all of it, because Ashlesh is nuts. One of his feats is that he invaded the celestial realm in search of primordial joy and came back alive and smiling. Not even the celestials could kill him. And that says everything. Neela herself has done some wild stuff too, like killing a Kavor dragon, which is one of the oldest and most powerful dragons in that region. And she went one-on-one with Volibear, an actual god, and lived to tell the tale. Even if she's not using Ashlesh's full power, the chunk she is using is already enough to put her here. And if she ever gains access to more, she could easily rise higher. Now, on to number 2, a character people often forget about when it comes to raw power, Zilean. Zilean is a chronomancer, meaning he's a mage who manipulates time, and time magic is insanely strong. I mean, if there's one thing that affects literally everyone, it's time. Not even the Ascended of Shurima are immune to it. Among all chronomancers, Zilean is miles ahead. He's like a time god, basically. He can stop time, speed it up, slow it down, go to the past, go to the future, see multiple realities at once. He's like League's Doctor Strange, but way older and way scarier. His lore is literally about him messing with the threads of time and looking through different futures to find one where Runeterra doesn't get destroyed by the Ruination. His abilities are just off the charts. Imagine trying to fight someone who can just freeze time around you or look at you and make you instantly age to death. The old man is built different. So with all that power, who could possibly rank above him? That brings us to number 1, Ryze. Ryze carries the power of the world runes, basically the things that created Runeterra. Think of the world runes like the Infinity Stones from the Avengers. So yeah, Ryze is on a whole other level. His entire lore is about collecting and hiding the runes to make sure nobody evil gets their hands on them. Because if they do, it's game over for the whole world. And not only does he carry them, he knows how to use them. The only reason he doesn't go around spamming that power is because he's scared he might blow up the planet, or worse, the power could end up corrupting him. During the whole mess with Zolani, where she absorbed Aatrox and Kael and Morgana's mom, she became completely unstoppable. Not even the Celestials knew what to do with her. It was literally the end of the world. And then Ryze showed up alone and straight up deleted her, like just soloed her and vaporized her out of existence. That feat alone puts him above pretty much everyone. Ryze isn't just one of the strongest humans in League. He's one of the strongest characters, period. Stronger than gods. Dude's a beast. Oh, and before anyone asks why I didn't include Jax, it's because we don't actually know what he is. Anyone who says for sure that he's human is wrong. There's nothing that confirms that. Even the wiki says he might be some kind of sand troll. Anyway, if you disagree or got something to add, drop it in the comments. See y'all next time.